Hey everyone, welcome to the Writer's Studio. This is Angela Drake, and we are on week 5 of Preptober. We are 2 days away from NanoWriMo kicking off, and I am so ready. I have been using Sarra Cannon's Preptober book. I have linked it to you before, and I will continue to do so. I have gone through on my own in past and done all of her novel prepping your space. We've talked about it in our Preptober plans. So now we're going to talk about our word counts. And in her Preptober, you have a calendar where you can mark off. She suggests marking off any of the days in the month of November that you cannot write. Based on Bob's schedule, I am better off if I mark the days that I can write, because I see those, they jump out at me. And I know that I have 23 days in the month of November that I can write. Also, for the month of Nano, because I really want to get this book done, instead of the 50,000 word goal, I have a goal of 60,000 words, which means I need to do 2,608 words per day. I'm pushing for 2,500. That should do me really well in hitting. I've got the 50,000, then I've got 4 or 5 other days here that I can get that other 10,000 words in, and I'm okay with that. Bob comes home on the 17th, and I try not to work his first full weekend home from Wednesday through Sunday, unless he goes and does target shooting or something, and then in which case that will allow me to build in some extra words. But other than that, not writing on those days. I'm also not planning to write on Thanksgiving. And then I had Sunday here was supposed to be a power hour. I've taken it off as a game day for Bob and I, because if I'm on track, I still have 2 extra days that I can get that extra 10,000 words, or 4 extra days that I can get those 10,000 extra words in. So, I've taken the little printout sheets from Sarra in her Preptober book, and I've turned them into stickers. And I've marked my target word date, so I should be at 10,000 words on the 4th. Based on a power writing day on the 6th, where I'm striving for 5,000 words, I should be at 20,000 by the 7th, 30,000 by the 11th, 15,000 by the 15th, and then with those days off, 50,000 on the 24th. That would be a great way to kick off Thanksgiving Eve, I think, to have that 50,000 words in. Now, there are a couple of things that she has in here built in. One is your NanoWriMo target word counts. And she starts out, you have your target word count of 1,667 words per day. You write in your words, and then you write in whether you were plus or minus. So say you wrote 17,000 words per day for that day. You would put a plus mark of 33 words, and then you just continue to add your word count as you go. Now, she also provides a blank one where you can set your own target word count, daily word count, and I put down 2,500 words per day. On 11/6, I'm pushing for 5,000, and then I have another 5,000 word day set on the 13th if I need it, and then another one on the 27th, again if I need it. So I have a word count built in. She also provides you with this tracker where you can write down your word count on here. So 1667, 1667, how many words you count, where you wound up based on your 334 where you're supposed to be. She also has another one in there that is for, I think it goes up to 100,000 words per day, or 100,000 words, not per day. That would be a miracle. But anyway, you understand what I'm saying. I don't know if I will use this, because I have this tracker. I really don't need both, and you probably don't either. Pick the one that's going to work for you. I just like the fact she gives us options. She also gives us how to figure out how many sprints we need to do. Now, sprints, if you don't understand those, they're based on the Pomodoro method of 20 minutes of writing with 10-minute breaks. Now, if I average 500 words per sprint, and I have been known to do 1,200 plus, but starting out usually somewhere between 350 and 500 until I get warmed up and get rolling. That is, if I want to do a daily word count of 3,000 words, that's 6 sprints. And I did that just for the math, just because it was easy to do. But 6 sprints, that's only 3 hours of writing time in a day. What else are you spending 3 hours on? Are you scrolling Instagram? Are you scrolling Facebook? What are you doing? If you want to write, you have to make the time to write. Figure out your game plan. It may take you a couple, 3 days to figure out where your word count is in a specific sprint block, and then figure it out from there. But I know that I need 6 sprints per day if I'm going to hit my 25 to 3,000 word count per day. The other thing is making time to write. There are lots of things in our life that can distract us, including writer's block. Well, it's probably not writer's block. It's probably, I don't want to write today. Those things happen. So you want to plan for those and know what's going to derail you, and try not to let that become a habit. Instead, build the habit of writing every day that you can write. It doesn't have to be your target word count. Make yourself sit down and write every day. And before you know it, a 20-minute sprint is going to turn into writing for 45 minutes. Or writing for just one space of time today. Tomorrow you're going to be more into your story and you're going to write a little more. And you're going to build on that. It becomes a steamroll down a hill. And the downhill is to hit your course at the end of the month. Okay? I'm going to leave a link for Katlyn Duncan's countdown timer in the description box below. It's here on YouTube, and you can set the timer for 5 minutes to 45 minutes. There is also Google Timer, which is really loud, but it is really effective. The other thing is try to find sprint groups. If you don't think that you can focus sitting down and writing by yourself, find somebody else to sprint with. There are sprint groups and a sprint bot even just on Discord. Sarra Cannon in her HeartBreathings group has a sprint group on Facebook. And you will usually find those descriptions in her Preptober links, which I have and will continue to link down below. There are sprint groups on Nano. There are sprint groups in Facebook. There are sprint groups on Twitter. You can find somebody to sprint with. You can always message me on Instagram. It is Angela Drake A. And see if I'm going to be sprinting. And I have a private room that I use on Chatsy. I'd love to have you come sprint. I will do 20-minute sprints with 10-minute breaks. And I usually do it in the evenings. So from about 4 o'clock on, that's my writing time for my long stuff. But if you need a middle-of-the-day sprint and you just am looking for somebody to sprint with to help you get started, message me on Instagram. And we'll see if we can't schedule a time in the middle of the day based on wherever I'm at in my business day. I'm all up for doing more sprinting with anybody who needs help. I am also Rainlight, RAINLYTE on NanoWriMo, and I will link my Nano page down below. I'd love to have you come follow me and friend me or whatever you want to call it, and we can encourage each other on the Nano forums. I don't use the forums a lot, but I would be willing to do if you just want a weekly check-in. You know, if you want me to check in on Friday at the end of the day through a private message to see how your week's gone, what your plan is for the weekend, and we can encourage each other that way, I'm all up for that as well. Now, the other thing that Sarra has added to this year is, well, a couple of things. Number one, she has the goal tracker. And remember I had let's go to the calendar. There I am. I had the word count goals on the calendar. Now, if I hit them on that date, I'm going to up my goal or up my reward. But just for hitting the 10,000 rewards, I'm going to do a crab legs or a crab boil. I love my seafood. And I have crab legs in the freezer waiting on me. 20,000 words, I want the Nano Tank. And 30,000 words, I want a new t-shirt from Etsy. I will link her shop down below. I ordered one and I will be sharing it on a special middle of the week video check-in to see how you're doing. Romance novel in progress. I ordered a 2X because you're never sure how shirts are going to run when you order them online. I figured if I can't wear it as an everyday shirt, it's going to be a good snuggle up and write t-shirt. And I got it in a nice powder blue, and it's really super soft, and it's really super comfortable. So I want another one of her shirts from Etsy. So for 30,000 words, there's a new t-shirt. 40,000 words, I'm going to do 2 nights in a hotel to power write the last 10K. And when I hit the 50,000 words, I'm going to get my cover ordered for this book. Now, as I was saying, the new thing that Sarra has added is she added a meal planner this year. Because she is traveling so much right now, she's got breakfast ideas, lunch ideas, and dinner ideas for good ideas, snacks. And then we can plan our meals for week 1 and what our schedule is for week 1 if we have stuff that's going to get in our way. A meal plan for week 2, week 3, week 4, and week 5. There's this place to do some brainstorming. If you hit a rock and you're just not sure where to go, start scribbling ideas. And then I have the information for my NanoWriMo novel started here. So the Ozarks Homecoming. I know who my hero and heroine are. I know what the basic premise is. I know who my side characters are. I haven't decided for sure if there is a villain. I'm thinking maybe the heroine is just going to get in her own way. And the main conflict and resolution. And I've got those ready to go. The other thing to get you going and thinking before Nano kicks off Monday is make a list of 10 possible scenes for your book. So that when you get stuck, you can jump to somewhere else and take off with that idea. You don't have to write your book chronologically. It doesn't have to happen. For years, I have considered myself a quilt writer. And that is because I wrote my first book, in Ozarks Christmas, in a quilted pattern. I wrote whatever scene came to my brain. That was the scene that I worked on that day. And it became like a patchwork or a crazy quilt. When I got ready to sit down and piece everything together, I just had to write little bridges between each of those scenes to make them come together in one cohesive quilt top or one cohesive story. So I've always considered myself more of a quilter than a plotter or a pantster. I just write where it takes me, and then I come back and piece it all together when I'm done. Something to think about. Sarra has several videos up about rewards. She has one up on motivation when you get stuck. I know that's awfully bright in that camera, isn't it? So go through and check out Sarra's videos and walk yourself through your Preptober planner. Make the notes, because remember, we can't start writing the story, but nothing says we can't make all those notes as elaborate as we want to where they are almost scenes by the time we kick off on Monday. I will be back here next Friday to see how your first week went and to share my first week. And I will hopefully be scheduling a power writing sprint session for Saturday on the 5th. Until then, thanks for joining me in the studio today. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And let's nano.